Welcome to the Down in a Hole show we like to call Less Than Zero. My name is not Brad, his name is not Blaine, and we're here to talk about stuff in a hole. Well, I am. Well, you are too. Where the hell are you hiding?
I am too. Right here, also in a hole.
Consistency.
The only place in the house that we can go to, buy the house, and then everybody else gets a piece of the whole house, and I say, can I have the furnace room? And they say, I guess so.
Yeah, we'll let you
clean it up because it's a mess.
Dad, get down in your hole, Dad.
Exactly. You know where you belong.
Yeah. That is funny how I like it down in the basement though.
Yeah. I don't mind it. It's, you know what, doors closed, its own little area.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
It's the only place in your
Better than not having a place to go.
Yeah. It's the only place in your entire house that there's no kids or dogs.
No, doors closed. Just me and the furnace.
That's the thing. Chilling.
And the fumes from my 3D printer.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you have a lot of fun with that thing, man. We were going to talk about something else, but we won't have to talk about that. Well, some of the
we got lots of time. We have lots of things to talk about.
What's the craziest thing you've ever 3D printed? Because you get that buddy of yours down the street or something, you're printing like little garage toolboxes and stuff.
Yeah. That's about it. I haven't gotten too crazy. Mostly just little small ones like miniature vise and toolboxes and things like that. He builds like stuff for his little garage dioramas. So once in a while I print out something like that, but I don't print a lot. It's overwhelming. I find sometimes the amount of choices for things you could build with these. And you go online and you go to like Thingiverse or any of these other ones like Cults 3D print, like all these things they have, and they have people who sell cool 3D models they make. And otherwise, but I'm like, oh, that's a cool one. That's cool too. And I almost get like paralyzed with the amount of options. Like, where do you start? I guess you just got to find something you want to make and then go with it. But for me, I'm like, it's not until someone's like, hey, you got a 3D printer. Can you make me this? And I'm like, heck yeah, I can absolutely make that.
So
then I have a goal.
Yeah. So there's entire websites of like that hobby of guys just creating like this digital blueprint that you can download and then send to that printer and it'll spit that out.
Absolutely. Some people will put them for free. Some people, the more detailed ones, are people who make a living off it, creating the 3D models. They put them on there for sale. Yeah, man, it's a whole wild thing. But like I said, I could go on about that forever.
Have you ever bought one, or do you just stick with the freebies?
I haven't bought one yet, but I haven't found. It's not that there's ones out there that aren't cool and wanted to buy. It's just that there's so many free ones that I haven't yet got to that stage. If somebody made something that would be like, for example, if my uncle wants some of those 3D printed tools, if I could find someone's selling a set of them for like $10, it's clearly not even worth my time to even try to learn how to create those.
Yeah,
of course. Here's take some money, print them off, and then he's happy to pay for them too. Because otherwise, if he had to buy them online, they're going to be 5, 6, 10 times the price.
Right.
So.
That's a cool.
It's
fun.
A
cool community because, like, or even then, if you were willing, you'd totally be willing to pay for it if you could find a guy that knew how to use that program to create that blueprint, and you needed, and you were building something like, say, you had your little model car, and you were making a little garage for it, and you needed a dartboard, and you don't know how to use that shit. Like hey man, can you make me a dartboard? Or maybe somebody already has made one, or if you needed some weird custom thing that only you had. Somebody could, like I could take a picture of this bench I'm looking at right now, and some guy could 3D model that to be this big. They could pull it off, and it would look like that fucking bench. Or my house, like because every house looks different. That'd be fucking cool. Hire a guy to make your house,
miniature scale. You could literally, if you had the design, you could make anything. It's crazy. That's why I say it's so cool, but it's overwhelming at the same time for me, anyways. Like I say, it's just wow. There's so many different things to make. I say, boy, when someone's like, hey, make this, make that. All right, I can get behind that. I've got something now that I've got a clear and defined task. Cool.
See,
but otherwise, because if you had these on your kids, you could have literally made within reason, you could have made toys that you wouldn't even. Oh, I'm going to make this attachment for my Ninja Turtles. I'm going to reprint a weapon or whatever. This is crazy what you could do.
Right, because you're into the Lego stuff, and I was too as a kid. But like you could, and Lego never had like AK-47s, but there's probably a site that sells weapons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're designed minifigure scales, different pieces of armor. You got like a helmet, or somebody wants to make like a Master Chief, whatever. They put them like a shoulder harness on a backpack or something, like whatever they got, right? The accessories and things. As for Lego and stuff, the tolerances are pretty close, but they're not as close as what Lego can do when they manufacture them with their injection mold. So you could make, if you needed like a certain piece, you could make something similar, but it's not gonna. I don't think, mind you, I haven't looked into printing Lego in a long time. When I first looked at it, it wasn't close enough. The specs weren't nearly close enough to get within like the thousandths of, or like the millimeters that they get into, right? But
yeah, you'd have to have something so precise that it just would never work. But accessories are cool.
Pretty close,
Buddy needed a helmet, like you said, that looked like Master Chief's helmet, or like
for sure.
a specific hockey player's helmet or something. Like Dominic Hasek's goalie helmet on a fucking Lego guy would look cool.
Yeah, you could absolutely. Those, and the different printers will do. Some will do better resolution. Some are better for doing bigger ones. I've got a couple. Mess around with them a bit, but
what's the biggest thing you can print?
Oh man, you can print literally anything, like but you just can print it in pieces. Can?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay, sorry, yeah. So with the one of my 3D printers, and I'll show you. This is basically the size of the housing it would fit. So that's about 30 centimeters tall, roughly a foot. And so it basically, on that one, it can print tall. So you could go, it's got a base plate of about maybe 3 inches by 5 inches. And then, but you could make something, so you could make it like a model train that was like stand almost a foot long, but you print it on end. Other guys have made full on Iron Man suits, like cosplay swords, and they basically print in like 1 foot increments, and they put like notches in them. So when you put them together, everything lines up.
Oh, no way.
And then you can use, because if it's resin you're printing, you can use that and cure it with UV light, which basically welds the pieces together. Or you can just use like crazy glue for different kinds of ABS. So some people have made like full-size statues. One guy's building in his garage like an 8-foot statue of Master Chief, or 7-foot, like out of a basic printer. But it's basically doing it like piece by piece.
So like you said, if you needed a 4-foot broadsword and you just had like the rod, you could 3D print up that rod so the thing would stay together, and just print it in segments and just glue it all together, and your gold.
Absolutely, and then you can print them so they're more hollow. So if you want something that's going to be lightweight, you can choose the amount of infill in each section, so you're not going through. Because the other printer I have, not the one that's the resin printer, but it's like called FDM. I don't even know the names of it yet. So if anyone's watching this, I'm going to look like a total jerk.
Look like
what are you talking about? This is basically a roll of the spool. It's like a weed eater line, effectively.
Okay.
That they use on there, and it goes on the machine, and it basically, this end comes out into a hot nozzle, and the nozzle just prints it as it goes. Squeeze out a little bit, gears shove the plastic down into the extruder, and it heats it up, and then it just like prints this little layer as it goes along. Prints a square, and then it goes up just a hair, prints the next layer, prints the next layer, so on and so forth. So yeah, you can choose all the different things. That style of printer is better for making bigger items. But yeah, I'm very, very much an amateur at this, but I'm enjoying it a lot so far.
That's pretty sweet, though. I mean, when it comes to hobbies, like, yeah, you've got the Lego thing. Do you still play guitar?
On occasion, not as much. Once in a while, I'd sit there and mess around with it, but I haven't for a while.
I'm getting into these gross fucking pedals now.
Well, you've got some. What was the custom ones, like this I call small batch, artisanal, handcrafted. Like you've got some really something that you're not going to find at your average. It's not the Boss Metal Zone 2, right?
No, which I probably have one. I have a Boss Distortion. It's like an ML1. I can't remember what it's called. It's the orange one. It's just called Boss Distortion.
Black with the orange highlights.
It's orange with black letters.
Oh, okay.
It's the opposite.
So I think I have like the Metal Zone.
It's the opposite of the Metal Zone, because the Metal Zone's a black pedal with orange letters, and then the Distortion is orange with black letters. But I started getting onto these, like, when you're talking about hobbies, guitar playing being one of them, obviously, into these little boutique online shops, and the shit these guys are coming up with, man. Like, there's Fuzzlord Effects. I bought one from them. And from Desert Doom, I bought one from them. And the one from Desert Doom is psychotic. But man, there's so much
Does it
fun.
in fact doom?
Oh yeah, it do. Yeah, if it am, it is. It's like, it's so loud. I actually had to, Shelly's brother actually gave me an equalizer pedal because it has no volume knob. It's a one knob gradual like distortion range.
How much doom would you like?
And it's based off of it's based off of Al Cisneros' bass tone from Ohm. And Sleep probably, but Ohm is all bass. There's no guitar in the Ohm band, and that's what they based it off. And it's too big. There's no way to tune it down. There's no way to turn it down. When I plug that thing in, it would like destroy the planet Earth. So in order to use the volume,
face melter.
Yeah, in order to use the knob on my amplifier to turn it up, I had it at like 0.5, so it wasn't really throwing good volume up, right? I'm like, I need to turn this pedal down so I can turn my amp up and actually hear what it can do.
Yeah.
So I put it through an equalizer and used the equalizer to squash it a bit. But yeah, a lot of fun getting into that crap. Like, I'll probably never buy like a name brand pedal again, unless it's like a tuner or a compressor or a gate. But I don't think I need that stuff. But the distortion pedals, fuck, man. Even my buddy Dan, he's an amazing guitar player. He builds guitars. And we've been just sending pictures back and forth of these stupid fucking shops we're finding online. Black Tide, Black Arts Tone Works is one that I found. I might buy some of their shit. He found one. It's called the Doom pedal. It looks like the art on the pedal looks like the video game Doom. And
oh, no way.
It's a Doom.
Awesome.
It's just like the gates of fucking hell. Like, that's the knob. You know, how much hell do you want in your fucking sound? It's just silliness, but it's cool. And they're not really super expensive. Like, some of the one knob ones are like $100-ish.
Right, but they come with a custom, like that cool paint scheme that's really, unique. You're not going to find that. Maybe more and more on mass-produced pedals you'll find it, but also the tone too. You're going to get something unique that if you're coming up with something original, chances are it's less likely. I mean, while it may be similar, you're not going to get something that 100, 1,000, 10,000 other guitarists are going to have, or bass is going to have that same tone or similar tone, depending on how, what they're running it through.
Yeah.
But just giving you yet one more variable in your setup, completely change the whole tone, right? So,
well, and the thing with the Desert Doom one, especially because it's based off Al Cisneros stuff, off of his bass rig and Ohm. So like, they have concert footage and footage, like pictures of his pedal board. So then they can see what pedals he uses to achieve what he's doing. So if I had to I would never buy all 4 pedals. They take those pedals and then they like clone the circuits or something, and then they put it all into a one box deal. So this is Al's tone. How much do you want? And that goes from 1 to 100, and it kind of just gets grosser the higher you turn it. But it's a combination of these 3 different circuits all stuffed into one, and then the mad scientists over there at Desert Doom, like, put this thing together. They got a cool badass artist in the back. The pedal's called Giza, and it's all fucking bright green, glittery, weird fucking art on it. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that. It was $300.
Right.
Got to my door for about $350, I think, because FedEx Express will charge brokerage. I knew it was going to happen.
You're hitting me with the cross-border charges.
Yeah, because
these are the troubles of your average Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, is it going to have duty on it? Son of a bitch.
That's what I need to do. I need to find a shop in Canada that does this stuff, and I'll just buy from them. But then again,
or you got the drop shipment across the line.
I could do that.
Go pick it up at. We're like 15 minutes from the border, so
are we
can go and. But yeah, same idea, right? So
yeah,
we don't do it often, but if it's a significant enough savings, especially if you're on like used to be like car parts or things like that, it would be definitely worth a trip across.
Yeah, because the $10 it takes you to get across the bridge. Because here we have to cross a bridge.
And they charge you money across the bridge?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
And it's gone up. It's doubled in the past like 5 years. But if you were saving a lot of duty, like he said duty. It was $45 I had to pay them. So I mean, whatever. I mean, it's already here.
Oh yeah, and if you're going for something else too, or you make a day of it or go down.
Yeah,
that's just crazy. I had no idea that there was a toll on that bridge.
Yeah, it's the Hill Island Bridge. So you take a bridge over to the island. That's where the border is, and then you drive over another bridge to get to the actual mainland in the States. So you're kind of sitting.
Is there a land crossing anywhere nearby there? Forgive my complete lack of geographical knowledge.
No, Ogdensburg would be the next one to the east, and that's the same thing, the Johnstown Bridge over the St. Lawrence River. So the only way to get... you know what? Even the one from Niagara to Michigan is still a bridge, because it's all Great Lakes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all water, right? Mm-hmm. So, duh. Well, how about that? They got you.
The hobbies... the hobbies we do aren't cheap, but they're not super expensive, and you can't spend your money when you're dead. So you know what? I'm like, support local. I'm like, I am local to Ohio and local to North Carolina. Those two companies, right. I think. But
practically our neighbors.
Yeah, whatever, man. FedEx Express, and the first one actually came Canada Post or USPS, and then they give it to Canada Post.
I never understood how they could figure out which ones would get that bonus fee and which ones wouldn't. It just depended on the carrier.
The Post, they never charge you. The Post just comes through like mail. But because Desert Doom will ship to the entire planet, he just uses FedEx Express exclusive. It doesn't matter where you are on Earth. Wherever you are in the Milky Way solar system, or the Milky Way galaxy, he'll probably be able to ship it FedEx Express because they have spaceships and time travel.
Right. I need this package a year ago.
Imagine the brokerage on that.
Right.
I need this package a year ago. You're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm going to go over to that drawer now and grab that thing that I had put in there a year ago. There it is.
Right. I needed the newspaper to give me the Bitcoin knowledge to, it said, still don't buy. So I didn't, but
I'd rather just get the lottery numbers. That's way easier. And that's a guaranteed 50
right. Mil. Exactly. It's just getting rich with all the extra steps of Bitcoin, which I don't know enough about other than sorry for everyone who listened to Mr. Poilievre, who said to invest in that to beat inflation.
Yeah, right.
That guy's a knucklehead, but I digress.
Yeah, can't be right all the time. So there you go. I guess this episode, it was going to be one thing. It turned out to be hobbies.
There you are.
Guitars, computers, obviously.
And shipping and handling.
3D printing and all kinds of wicked stuff. You know what you should do? You should 3D print yourself a bigger 3D printer.
I know you say that in jest, but you actually can, in a manner of speaking. There's still parts you need to buy.
Oh,
but
wow.
You can basically 3D... You buy, your chunks of angle iron or, to construct the basic frame, but you can print all, the corners and the brackets and supports. You can basically print all these little things that'll tie it all together.
That's cool.
It's crazy. So people are, making better printers from what the ones they got by printing parts on their printer and then putting them on the new printer and making them better. Basically, the machine is improving itself with the help of the internet and people around. They're like, oh, you need a better fan shroud for here. Anyways, again, I get sidetracked, so we're getting digressing.
Yeah, that is funny.
You're trying to wrap it up, and I'm getting into a whole new topic.
That is funny, though. You could totally improve stuff. Or if something broke and it was plastic, you could just print a new one.
Right. Now, my buddy joked about that when he got his. He was the one who kind of got me set up with all this. And he's like, yeah. It's like, I could just start printing you some parts, and you could build them together. I'm like, that sounds way more advanced than I was prepared for. I'm looking for out of the box, open it up and plug this thing in.
Yeah.
So, and then slowly doing upgrades as they go along.
That's the thing, yeah. Upgrades. Everybody loves it. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap this one up. And Less Than Zero, I have to remember to call it Less Than Zero. This is the Down in the Hole YouTube channel. This is the show we like to call Less Than Zero because it's
like an offshoot.
The Blaine and Brad show.
Right.
It's the same thing if Jono ever filmed an episode with somebody other than me, he would come up with a different name for it. We would put it, because we only call it Down in a Hole stock. Down in a Hole when we're actually together on camera. Because actually, it was his
What if it was like
idea to
a,
start this thing.
What if it was like a threesome kind of that thing?
Same thing. If he's here, it's down in a hole. Like if you were here
so
on
it
TV
is.
and he was sitting
If
right
you had
here,
like
it'd still be
You got
called
a guest
down a hole.
visitor.
Yeah, down
okay.
a hole all day. Yeah.
I do appreciate this TV though. This is a lovely CRT. Makes me feel at home. As a child of the '80s, This is warms my heart. This is where I belong.
I love how I love making this show look worse than it could be, because I have lots of LCD screens that could be sitting there, but it's way cooler to have a flickering CRT.
Right.
Well, my video is going to time out in less than a minute, because you know that digital cameras only record for 12 minutes.
Is it?
Yep.
We got to wrap it up.
Because it would be considered a cinema camera, and it would be way more expensive if it never stopped recording. So I just hit record, stop it, hit record again. That's my workaround. But anyway, Less Than Zero has been brought to you in part by this blue bottle of water. While I'm drinking this, Brad's going to wrap it up.
Yes. Thank you. Almost out of you right there, but we... Yeah, thanks from Blaine and myself for tuning in for this, and keep your stick on the ice. And don't forget, as you can see, my buddy here does have a drinking problem.
Apparently, I have a drinking problem where I have a problem drinking, one or the other. First time doing stuff. Thanks for watching. Click the thumbs down button.
See you later. Yeah.